choker. That's what they called Tommy Aaron for years, a golfer who couldn't win when it mattered most. But at 88 years old, Aaron's story reveals something far more inspiring than his critics ever imagined. Tommy Aaron's golf career is marked by two moments that seem almost impossible to believe. Both happened at the Masters. Both involved scorecard errors, and both changed his life forever. The first moment came in 1968. Aaron was playing partner to Roberto De Vicenzo, the beloved Argentinian golfer celebrating his 45th birthday. De Vicenzo played magnificently that day, carding a superb 65 that included a critical birdie on the 17th hole. This performance tied him with Bob Golby and set up what should have been an 18-hole playoff on Monday. But something went wrong at the scorer's table. As De Vicenzo's marker, Aaron was responsible for recording his score. At the public scorer's table by the 18th green, Aaron made a critical error. He marked a 4 for De Vicenzo on the 17th hole instead of the actual 3 he had made. De Vicenzo, perhaps distracted or lost in thought, failed to catch the mistake and signed the incorrect scorecard. Aaron's realization was immediate and chilling. He had marked down a 4 for De Vicenzo at 17. The error cost De Vicenzo the championship under golf's strict Rule 38-3, which states that a score higher than actually played must stand as returned. De Vicenzo's reaction became one of golf's most famous quotes. He said, "What a stupid I am." He also stated, "This is my fault, nobody else's," accepting full responsibility despite the marker's error. Bob Golby was awarded the championship. De Vicenzo lost his chance at a major title, and Aaron carried the weight of that mistake for years. The psychological burden was enormous. Even decades later, Aaron could recall every detail vividly. In 2018, he said, "Even in my 80s, I can remember every detail as if it were yesterday." This single, high-profile error in a major championship became a defining part of his public identity. But the scorecard incident wasn't Aaron's only burden. He also carried a reputation as someone who couldn't win under pressure. The choker label was largely cemented by his 0-4 record in PGA Tour playoffs. These weren't minor events either. They were significant tournaments against formidable opponents. In 1963, Aaron lost 2 playoffs. He lost to Tony Lema at the Memphis Open and then lost an 18-hole playoff to Arnold Palmer at the Cleveland Open. In 1972, the pattern continued with 2 more playoff losses. He lost an 18-hole playoff to George Archer at the Glenn Campbell Los Angeles Open. Later that year, he lost to Archer again at the Greater Greensboro Open. 4 consecutive playoff losses built a significant psychological barrier. Each loss reinforced the choker narrative externally and entrenched it internally. The pressure to not lose in a playoff again became immense. This added mental challenge went beyond the technical demands of the game. The reputation was harsh and often unfair. Aaron had demonstrated considerable talent throughout his career. He had a distinguished amateur career, reaching the final of the U.S. Amateur in 1958. He played on the victorious 1959 U.S. Walker Cup team and won multiple collegiate and state titles. His professional career included victories like the 1969 Canadian Open and the 1970 Atlanta Classic. Despite his consistent excellence, the pattern of failure in high-stakes formats disproportionately defined his public image. Media narratives and public perception simplified his complex athletic career, focusing on perceived weaknesses over his comprehensive record of achievement. Then came 1973. The Masters presented Aaron with a profound chance at redemption. Entering the final round, Aaron faced a formidable challenge. He trailed the leader, Englishman Peter Oosterhuis, by 4 shots. This was exactly the kind of pressure situation where his critics expected him to fold. Instead, Aaron delivered a masterful final round of 68. This powerful closing performance allowed him to win by 1 stroke over J.C. Snead. Aaron himself reflected on the moment, writing, "Winning the Masters for me was a dream come true." The victory marked his 3rd and final PGA Tour win and his only major championship title. But what makes Aaron's 1973 victory particularly remarkable is what happened during that final round. Just 5 years after being the marker who incorrectly recorded De Vicenzo's score, Aaron's own playing partner made a similar error on his scorecard. Johnny Miller, Aaron's playing partner in the final round, mistakenly marked a 5 for Aaron on the par 4 13th hole when Aaron had actually made a birdie 4. This time, however, the story had a different ending. Aaron caught the mistake before signing his card, preventing a repeat of the 1968 incident from costing him a championship. The sequence of events is highly unusual in professional golf. In 1968, Aaron made the error as the marker, and De Vicenzo failed to catch it. In 1973, Johnny Miller made the error as marker, but Aaron caught it. This wasn't mere coincidence. It represented Aaron's active vigilance. Having been on the wrong side of the traumatic 1968 incident, Aaron likely developed an acute awareness of scorecard accuracy. This suggests a direct link between the negative experience of 1968 and his heightened attention in 1973. The moment transformed Aaron from a passive participant in a historical error to an active agent in preventing one. The irony is profound. Aaron, who was directly involved in costing DeVincenzo a Masters due to a scorecard error, then won his own Masters by catching a similar error on his own card. This creates a powerful sense of poetic justice. It's almost as if the golfing universe offered him a chance to rectify a past association, not by undoing it, but by mirroring it with a positive outcome. Coming from a 4-shot deficit in the final round to win outright without needing a playoff was a significant triumph that directly countered his long-standing choker reputation. This victory provided a powerful narrative of overcoming past struggles and effectively silenced many of his critics. Aaron's 1973 Masters win served two distinct purposes. It definitively silenced the choker label by winning a major championship from behind in the final round, demonstrating remarkable mental fortitude. Secondly, it provided a personal correction to the 1968 scorecard narrative by actively catching a similar error on his own card. This dual vindication makes the 1973 Masters uniquely significant in Aaron's career. It wasn't just about winning a green jacket. It was about reclaiming his narrative, proving his mettle, and achieving profound personal and professional closure. The victory carried additional historical significance. Aaron became the first native Georgian to win the Masters. This win, linked to the unique scorecard irony that preceded it, ensured his distinctive place in Masters and broader golf lore. Following his Masters triumph, Aaron continued to be a familiar face at Augusta National, making 31 more appearances until his final participation in 2005. His longevity was highlighted when he broke Gary Player's record by making the cut at the Masters at age 63 in 2000. Despite a long and accomplished career with multiple professional wins and Ryder Cup appearances in 1969 and 1973, Aaron is still most famously known for the 1968 scorecard incident. This demonstrates how moments of high drama, especially those involving controversy or unique irony, can eclipse a lifetime of consistent performance in public memory. Tommy Aaron's career serves as a compelling narrative of resilience. His story illustrates the human capacity to overcome significant public perception challenges. It powerfully demonstrates the unforgiving nature of golf's rules and the ultimate responsibility placed upon players. Most importantly, his career shows how reputation, once formed, can be incredibly difficult to shake, but also how a single transformative victory can ultimately redefine an athlete's legacy. Aaron's journey from the shadow of the 1968 scorecard error to the triumph of 1973 Masters victory embodies the sport's strict adherence to rules, the immense psychological pressures of competition, and the enduring power of overcoming adversity. His story reminds us that champions aren't just made by talent alone, but by the ability to learn from mistakes, grow under pressure, and seize redemption when it's offered. At 88, Tommy Aaron's legacy stands not as that of a choker, but as a champion forged by irony and resilience. If this story of redemption and poetic justice inspired you, please like this video and subscribe for more incredible golf stories. What do you think about Aaron's remarkable journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below.